let's get the show on the road. Welcome, everyone. 11 minutes past 10 in the morning. Are you ready for more music analysis? Because, oh boy, I am. Please make sure that you have a drink in your hand, that you are staying hydrated, that you're being kind to yourself, and welcome to the Everything GM broadcast. If you haven't seen The Acolyte yet, oh my god! It's now finished, it's out. Go watch it. If you can borrow someone's Disney Plus password, go do it. I don't know if they still allow that. Like if they let you do it if you're in a different area. Netflix has started cracking down on that, but oh well. If you can do it, then do so. It's great. It's a really great show. I don't know if I've ever seen more like active vitriol online about something that so recently came out. Like it's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. Like just don't go online. Don't go online. It's fine. In lots of countries, Disney's banned password sharing. Okay, fair enough. Well, either way, oh my goodness. Taters, Ember, Alex, Lucky, Baron, Alferg, it is lovely to have all of you here. I'm happy that you are here to spend some time with me today. No matter where you are in the world, no matter how you're doing, if you're having a good day or not. Hey, Somberton, there you go. Hello. Make sure, please, that that you are comfortable and ready to have some good music discussion. It doesn't include here because we're not talking about The Acolyte today. If we were talking about The Acolyte, I would encourage everyone to leave so that I could sit in my toxic echo chamber. Yes, that is why Dropout is superior. I agree. I've been using it. Hey, Rogue is here. Hello, Rogue. Very good, very good. Recently I watched my first series in Dropout TV. I was waiting for my first, like, I haven't watched a series alone in a long time. And I think, wait, sorry, the train left the station a little bit. Hang on, it's coming back. I have not watched a series on my own in a long time, and I found that finally in Dropout, and I watched Never Stop Blowing Up, which is the newest Dimension 20. I finished the first episode. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Okay. Okay, is a great place for you. We'll find that it will work for the most popular in years, and you'll need a job as well to know what you want and what is your best course to. The design is very human. Lucky, are you having a stroke? Are we good? Is everything okay? What happened? I wish Dropout had profiles, but otherwise I love it. That would be great. That would be awesome. Yeah, yeah. Someone recommend me some good series? I don't know. I mean, I've just said, you know, The Acolyte. The Acolyte's great. You should watch that. If you want to get into more Star Wars, like, The Acolyte's a great jumping off point. And, other than that, I haven't really seen a lot of other stuff recently. Okay. We are ready. We're going to do some, we're ready to do some music analysis. I've revamped the music stream request channel. We're going to do one from each person today, then skip down the line. I think it's going to be Ember and Alex at least today, and if we have time for a third, I think Taters had one. So that's cool. Maybe, no, it's going to be Ember, Taters, then Alex. Maybe. We'll see. Cobra Kai, it's like Star Wars but better. Really? The Karate Kid spinoff? Damn. Are the songs Todd appropriate today? I don't know. Let's see. In music stream requests, we have Hurt People. Then we have Hold on a second. We have White Ball or Murders. I can't read Japanese, so I'm not sure what the artist is. Oh, Hawaii Part 2. Okay. So it's Hawaii. It's the Mind Electric stuff. Okay, that makes sense. And then after that, there's an Alex one. Ah, there's a New Hope score. Very good. We can do some Star Wars. So yeah, that's the idea. It's gonna be you, and then Ember, and then Alex. That's the plan today. Rising of the Shield Hero. Only saying this because Miss A is watching it right now. Rising of the Shield Hero. I've never heard of it. Okay. If you do Somberton's song and the Tater Tot request is the same day, I'll bring the tots in that day. Okay. Great. Cool. Wait, where did Somberton post his thing? Somberton, where's your thing? Why didn't you post... Wait. Did you put it in... If you put it in the regular stream requests, I'll check that as well. Hang on. No. No, you did not. Did you mention something about, Did you mention something about... Zombies? The zombie movies? Ah, yeah, the zombies. Okay, okay. Yeah, sorry about your migraine, Taters. Someone in general asked what I was talking about. Ah, okay. Alright, cool. Well, as the rain comes falling down outside and I have itchy ears, let's begin some music analysis. If you're not part of the music category, then you wouldn't be able to see it, Somerton. So in other words, you just put it in regular stream requests and then it comes up there and I will handle it. So don't worry about it. You could just put it in regular stream requests. Which is in the everyone category. I watched all the series you guys just recommended except Acolyte. Well, I mean, that sounds like fate to me, my friend. Sounds like you should watch the Acolyte then. It is really, really good. I don't know, are you a fan of Star Wars, Baron? Do you like Star Wars? Have we talked about Star Wars before? Okay. Oh, I posted it. Ah, okay. No, wait, Somberton, it's okay. I posted your request because it was Zombies 2. And it wasn't the entire musical. You just want me to tell you... I just need you to tell me what, I just need you to tell me what song you want from Zombies 2. You are a Star Wars fan. Then go watch The Acolyte. It's great. Everyone, I'd love to know what your mental health and physical health is doing today. How was your day? Has it been okay? I want to sketch my vampire RC. Come back later. That's great! Have fun. Enjoy that. Ah, this song in specific. Okay. Flesh and Bone from Zombies 2. I shall place this in music stream requests. Very good. Wait, because that's a little bit different. I will place it in the place where I commented. There we go. Okay, excellent. Right, then in that case, I think it's time for some analysis. Let's get the show on the road. Would you like White Ball or Murders today, Ember? I only watched the movies before Clone Wars and Clone Wars. Nothing after that. And the Mando series. Okay. Well, like I said, watch The Acolyte. It doesn't change what I said at all. Just watch My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, nice. You made way too much pasta and now I don't need to eat for the rest of the year. Yeah, well, that's good at least. Then you can hibernate. So that's good. Fergus and I on the same page. Yeah, I know you posted the same thing, didn't you? Both good songs for different reasons. That does not help me. I did not think that you would post songs that you did not think were good. If you like 90s animated series like Batman and Gargoyles, I recommend Roswell Conspiracies, Aliens, Myths, Legends. It's obscure but good. That does sound obscure. Hibernation? Wake me up when Acolyte Season 2 drops. Same, to be honest. Same. I can't wait. I know there'll be a Season 2. I just know it. There's so many people who want it. I can pick for you then. Let's do White Ball. That is what I asked. I asked you to pick for me. Right. Oh, cool. Okay, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And then after that is a New Hope score, which I will try and get to. Is Dropbox. Wait, what do you... There are 3 files here, Alex. I don't know what I'm looking at. There's two 32 megabyte ones and one 4 megabyte one. Tell me what to do. I hear tight staccato strings. Me too. It's gonna be fun. I really am hoping. Oh God. I really am hoping that today... Goodness gracious. That sounds delicious. I can't wait to talk about that. White Ball has strings, that's it. The message on the link shall make it all make sense. And a duet. Okay, cool. It's set before the murder in the story. Okay, cool. So it's a duet. Nice. Okay. Right, well, in that case, we shall check things out together, but for now, please enjoy this. I can't wait to get back into music analysis. It has been a hot minute. I have a feeling that this video will clap us for copyright, but we shall see. I'm gonna try and listen to it as long as I can until we get a copyright claim. And then we'll listen to it little bits at a time. This is Hurt People by Anne Friend, or Vriend, or Vriend if you are speaking Afrikaans or Dutch. And either way, we do know that the title of this song reflects a great truth of humanity, and that is that hurt people do often hurt people. That when you look at people who are doing... when you look at people who are doing damage to other people, it doesn't take too long to look inside them and see that they themselves are hurting. And that is why they're hurting other people. It's an act of projection, an act of self-defense, an act of self-preservation, an act of trauma response, all sorts of things. But we know that this is a great truth. It can help us understand people quite well. That hurt people hurt people. And here we go. Okay, very cool. Very cool. From the, yeah, this was requested by Taters. Very cool from the start. I love that. I love that choral dip there. You'll notice that they're moving up and down in the same intervals, so they're creating the same chords as they're going. It's lovely.
Just a little eggshell someone stepped on long ago. Trying to put yourself back together again can take a lifetime sometimes, you know. And I'm sitting on this balcony with you, wondering if you'll jump. You broke into my place and stole my stuff so you can sell it on the street for junk. Hurt people.
Oh wow, yeah, this is okay.
People. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people.
Okay. I'm more out of it than I realized. Are you you want to take a minute? The official music for video for this is incredible. Okay. For now we're gonna focus on the music, but yeah, if you like this song and you want to go check out the music video, you definitely should. It's funny Tater's recommended a song called Hurt People, considering one of the ones I recommended is called Laplace's Angel, Hurt People, as a pun of that phrase. That's very funny. I recommended this one because of a convo on stream. Oh, because we were talking about how hurt people hurt people. Very good, very good. All right, let's keep going. So far, I'm loving this. I'll talk about the details as we go.
You're just a little mama. Your daddy is the daddy of your child. And love is a twisted and bitter thing.
Whoa.
When it gets confused with desire. And I'm sitting in his clinic with you wondering if you'll run. You say you're right and wrong broke long ago. It's only for the lucky one. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Ooh, hurt people, hurt people. And I wish I could fix what happened to you. Yeah, I'd shoot them in the head.
Damn.
They were probably just a little eggshell too. And the cycle goes on. We are casualties instead. You're just a little gunman someone beat up long ago. Trying to get back at the people who killed everybody in the town, you know. And I'm sitting in this goddamn war with you wondering if you'll shoot. We watch it always shock on TV, wondering how history repeats and repeats and repeats. People hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people.
Oh,
hurt people.
nice. Some color. We love a good key change.
Hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Oh, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people.
Riffs in the top. They're called ad-libs or riffs. Okay, very nice. Very, very, very nice. I love this. I love this. Okay. Right, let's talk about it. Very, very, very nice. So, damn, this song sounds fire. It is fire. This is great. All right, so not only does it embody the theme of hurt people, which is something that we know as a great, it is a great truth of people that that when we are hurt, we like to project that hurt on other people. We like to, we often let our hurt kind of, we often take our hurt out on other people when there's no one left to take it out on that it was actually responsible for it. And it's just something that happens. This is why we should try to build a society that is focused on rehabilitation and not punishment, which is something that we often talk about here on the stream. And that kind of mindset is embodied here in the song. I want you to take a second at the bridge to the final chorus, where she says, he's talking about how, yeah, I wish I could fix what happened to you. And if I found who did this, I would shoot them in the head. And that instinct to punish is precisely the title of the song, Hurt People, Hurt People. Because now we are hurt by something else that's happening to someone else, and we want to take revenge based on behalf of that person. But again, all that does is continue to perpetuate the cycle, which she then says, and the cycle goes on. Excuse me, hold on. And so, we have, once again, a moment where our natural instinct when we see these kinds of people do things, we see these kinds of actions that really hurt us on behalf of the people that are actually hurt, then we want to engage in violence against those people. And of course, all that does is continue the cycle of violence. Not always. There are exceptions to the rule. But when we talk about punishment for crimes, all punishment does is continue cycles of pain. The hurt doesn't stop. There is no moment where someone goes, no further, we're going to go with rehabilitation now. And unfortunately, this is the way that the world is working right now. It doesn't have to work this way. We decide how it works. This is not some force of nature that is encouraging us to do this, that is forcing us to do this. We are teaching ourselves to do this. So make no mistake, this is up to us. And we choose every day to perpetuate this kind of system. Nevertheless, it remains true that hurt people hurt people. And as we've, this song seems very self-aware of what it's doing and the story that it's trying to tell. It doesn't go much deeper, I think. I think the meaning of the song is deep enough on its own, and it is contained on the surface. You don't have to think too far to get in beneath. I would say in terms of lyrical analysis, I think, I don't think it needs necessarily anything deeper. It's pretty, it's pretty clear like what the artist intends with all of her words here. Not official music video, but rather Anne Friend did a live porch concert mid-pandemic. That's what I was thinking. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, we will, we can check that out later if we've got the time. Yeah. So I think, there was one here. As far as I know, the first verse, if we're going to do lyrics quickly, the first verse, you're just a little eggshell someone stepped on long ago. This is more just general, relating to as many people as she can, possibly. Trying to put yourself back together can take a lifetime. And I think she's speaking about, if she's speaking literally, she's sitting next to someone on a balcony who's and wondering if they will jump off of it. Then later she also spoke about someone. She also then spoke about someone. Someone who broke into her house. I think a lot of a knee-jerk reaction when people. This is actually. I was gonna mention this because we had a conversation about this. I was asked a question by 5'8" a little while ago in a Mass Effect stream, like how would I react if someone mugged me on the street or if someone stole my stuff? And I've had a chance to actually react because I've had my stuff stolen before. And when I did, all I was sad and angry at myself, really, because in the moment I let the I left the door partially open in the night, which is what gave them such easy access, and opportunistic crime is so popular in South Africa. So it wasn't my fault, but I was still mad at myself that I did that. I don't think in any, I'm proud to say that when I think back on it, I don't hold any animosity towards the people who stole my stuff. And I think that is in line with what I believe with rehabilitation over punishment. I don't believe that. And they stole everything, by the way. Like, they cleaned out my entire room that I was sleeping in. I was on vacation, and I had nothing left. And I think, it was rough. They stole a camera that had all the photos on it as well, which was, extra rough. And when I think back on it now, I don't have any animosity towards the people who did it. Because of this, because it's opportunistic crime. People are hurt by socioeconomic conditions. They grow up in a certain way, and of course they're going to turn to crime because, not that it takes away their agency, they still make choices, but it's more likely that people will turn to that as their only alternative for survival when they don't have anything else. And I think this artist is kind of poking that line as well, sort of looking at that way of thinking of things as well. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that because when 5'8" asked me, I said that I'd probably want to know why first if someone were to steal all of my stuff. Because more often than not, it's because of this, because hurt people. And I'm not talking about emotionally hurt. If someone was hurt is a whole different thing. Hurt can mean many things. It can mean emotionally hurt. It can mean economically hurt. It can mean socially hurt. When you think of someone breaking into your house, they're not crying because, their partner broke up with them and so they're going to go and steal some stuff. They're not crying because they were They're not breaking into your house because they were bullied at school. They're breaking into your house because they're poor, and most of the time. And that's also a form of hurt, right? So we have to understand that. All right, so lyrics aside, the way that the song is structured is very clearly verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, bridge here, quiet third chorus, quiet third chorus, kind of muted, and then loud for a big finale. So that it's not a it's a pretty commonly occurring format of a song to be in. It's not there are no curveballs anywhere. I do you know what I find interesting is that One Direction gets this theme. One Direction gets this format right all the time. Sometimes even including a key change. The one thing was the key change. It was very cool. So we start here. Hurt people. 3 and hurt people. Very good, and that's it. And we start with we have a key change. So I think when that's the real like only curveball, and we love a good key change. It's great. And you'll tell that it goes a little bit higher as well. But I think in this, we've got the first verse. I was going to talk about One Direction. One Direction does this a lot. One Direction has verse 1, verse 2. Sorry, verse 1 chorus, verse 2 chorus, verse 3/bridge, and then a quiet chorus 3, and then a loud chorus repeat. That happens with One Direction. Like almost every One Direction song does that. I'm not ragging on them for that. I'm just saying that's what it has. That's the formula of their songs. And I defy you to listen to a single One Direction song that does not have that formula. Verse 1 chorus, verse 2 chorus, bridge, quiet chorus, chorus. And sometimes even it's just a chorus an octave down. Like that makes it quiet. And it's just a working formula. They have seen incredible success through that. But yeah. MJ's a fan of boy bands, confirmed. Why is that a bad thing? I love all kinds of music. When Beans and I had our truck stolen, we were both just mad at the systems that are failing people in the city we live in. Yeah, absolutely. Be mad at the right things. It's just a slam up a whole step key change thing, isn't it? Think I'm hearing that right? Yeah, let me check actually. Hurt people, hurt people. So this is the key. This is where we are right now. Hurt people. Yeah, it's a whole step. That's a whole tone. That's a whole tone key change. So a lot of key changes are like a semitone up, which just kind of gives it a little bit more lift. But a full tone up gives a slightly different vibe, and you can see this here. Right, let's talk musically as well. Rather than format, I think rhythm is pretty standard. What I like, the format that they seem to have chosen with this piece is, sorry, not the format, the vibe. The atmosphere that they seem to have gone is gospel, like African American spiritual almost. And those elements are complete, not in the drums. The drums are a little bit of a departure from that main theme, but the main kind of atmosphere, the main genre that this song seems to be borrowing from is African American spirituals, which is where there's a lot of vocals, a lot of harmonies that move up like this, a lot of harmonies that swell and rely on open vowels like whoa, like that. That's a very like. There's lots of energy in that sound, as there is in that genre as well in African American spirituals, and it also the main vocal is also like reminiscent of that vibe as well. And bear in mind that you then also have almost a call and response when you've got sort of the main singer doing the verse and then everyone coming together to do the chorus. It's like a longer form of call and response. It's not technically, though, because they're not saying the same things. The main singer is getting the full verses. But the chorus together is that form. It continues to borrow the genre of African American spiritual, like gospel style music, which is interesting. Why would they sort of compose a song that that borrows so heavily from American gospel music? Why? And we think because American gospel music often talks about how we are praising the light, we are preaching the word, and sort of we're rejoicing as well. There's a lot of good energy, there's a lot of positive energy, and if the genre can get that right, you would lean on a genre to achieve the same kind of emotion that genre portrays and that genre can invoke in an audience. And if gospel can invoke the kind of energy that you need for this song, you'll note that this song also conveys a very similar kind of energy. It doesn't feel like, it feels like there's a sad undertone, yes, but it doesn't feel like it's a sad song. Even though it's talking about our hurt people, they managed to fit some pretty depressing lyrics. Like there was an abortion allegory there in the second verse, and and there's some pretty sad subject material, and yet still it manages to be this. It's in a major key, and it's this like lively energy, big vocal choir in the bottom, sort of making these harmonies, gospel style, and that creates a much more not happy but upbeat atmosphere to the piece, which offsets the sadness of it and instead makes it something to rejoice, which is, I think, the goal of the piece. I think the goal of this song is to get people to rejoice in this revelation that hurt people. That is the truth. And I think when gospel does this, it wants to spread what it believes as, truth. It wants to spread the gospel, spread this revelation, and I think this song wants to do the same thing. It wants to spread this idea that hurt people, and so it borrows on the genre so that the genre can do a lot of that work for it. Because if it didn't have that genre, it might have had to work a little bit harder to get that message across. But because it's gospel, if you know anything about gospel, or if you've listened to gospel before, you'll probably be on board with some of the feelings that it invokes in you. And that's what makes sort of genre so effective. That's what makes trope so effective in media as well. Genre is the trope of, like, a genre is just like a type of trope just in music. It's very cool. So yeah, that was Hurt People. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What did you guys think of this? How do you feel how do you feel about the piece? What was your favorite part? Is there a place you want me to go back to listen to? Is there a place you want me to point out, maybe talk about why it was cool? Yeah, I'd love to know what you think. I didn't say it was bad. Sounds like MJ is projecting. About boy bands? Maybe I'm sensitive about it. My favorite key change is minor third up. That's a pretty good one. Yeah. Very specific. My favorite part is when it was playing. Damn, you guys are full of good stuff, huh? Great analysis today. No thoughts, head empty, brain hurt. Oh well. Well, thank you for the submission anyway. On a purely surface level, it's an absolute vibe. If I wanted to have a look at anything specifically, it'd be the drum part in chorus 1 between the hi-hats and the shake timbre. Okay. Let's have a look. Parts, the drum part in chorus 1 between the hi-hats and the shake. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I noticed the tambourine in the left there. Yeah, very nice. Ooh, have you noticed the tambourine comes in only once the singing has stopped? That's interesting. Listen. And it's back again. Just once, and then it comes back again when the singing is stopped. Stops once, and then it comes back again. That's so cool. That's a very interesting tambourine part. Okay, yeah. So you'll note that in between. In the chorus, everything mutes, so you just have a bass guitar and muted drums, and that's mostly because you need to focus on the vocals more. It's got all the elements are pulling back, so the main element, which is the vocals, can shine. And And then when you get to the chorus, it breaks. The drum breaks, everything kind of comes out of its faded state, and it becomes a lot more clear, which is the point. That's something that your brain feels is like, oh, cool, we're opening up now. So yeah.
Store my stuff so you can sell it on the street for junk. Hurt people, hurt people.
Ooh. I like it. Why do you think they would do it, Alex?
Hurt people, hurt people.
I'm not going to give you the answer. There is an answer. Why do you think they would do it? It's not my type of music, but I think it does what it's trying to do well. I agree. I think it is, not with the first part. I love this type of music, but I think, it does do what it's trying to do. It's a very easy listening, good message, like, nothing too fancy. I love it. It's a really nice, just simple, easy listening song. And we love to see it. We love to hear it. We do love to hear it. I'm not at all sure why you do it, because it's sort of doing the opposite of how I use timbres. Alright, remember what percussion does. Percussion does two things, right? You've got percussion that provides a foundation for the rhythm, and then you got percussion that... This is usual. Not all, but usual. You got percussion which primarily drives the rhythm, and then you've got percussion that accentuates parts in the piece. And remember that if you can hear a percussion with each element you add to a percussion group, you create more noise in the track. And if you would like other elements to be accentuated in a track, if you put more percussion there, it runs the risk of diluting what you've got already. So if you have a vocal, watch the difference here. Between the things. Here.
So you can, if you'll jump,
look how muted that is.
into my place and store my stuff.
You'll notice that they've still got shakers, but you can barely hear them. Why? Because they need the vocals to stand out.
So you can sell it on the street for junk. Hurt people, hurt people.
Okay, and then they want hurt people, hurt people. They want that to be the only thing you focus on. They need that to be the only thing you focus on, and then they bring in the tambourine, then they bring it away, and then they bring it back when the vocals are done. And the reason is they want the vocals to be as undiluted as possible, so that you can then kind of hit harder with the percussion at the end. That's how I interpret it, at least. I use timbres as more an effect than an instrument, kind of doing the same thing as a white noise stutter, just kind of a fast part in the high end giving energy. That's another way that you can use tambourine for sure. For me, tambourine was originally used as a timekeeper. It's just a hand drum that people just kind of... That's the original... That's why a tambourine was invented, to keep that time. In this case, the tambourine is being used to keep time, but more as an accompanying timekeeper. The main drum beat is already present. When you have, I'll just repeat what I said before. When you have the tambourine come out, it adds elements to the voice. It takes away dilution from the voice, so that then you can bring in the tambourine later, and it feels much more prominent as well. Listen to, you'll notice its absence. Listen.
Hurt people, hurt people.
You can hear the tambourine, and then...
Hurt people, hurt
And then it's...
people.
It's there again. And it hits harder now that you know that it's gone. And then it comes back again. And you can definitely focus on it now. So yeah, I think that would be the reason. If I did this, that would be the reason why I would do that. Just so that you can accentuate the voice. All right, and that was Hurt People by Anne Friend. Thank you, Anne Friend. And don't forget that it is a great truth that hurt people hurt people. That low pass filter on the drums and bass in the verse slamming off in the chorus is really damn cool. I'm gonna so I'm not really very knowledgeable with like with software terms like low pass and equalization stuff. I don't use it enough to be very familiar with it. I imagine am I correct in saying that a low pass filter is like is something that takes away a lot of the bass? That kind of keeps it in the treble and then takes it to the bass? Yeah, I think that's what you might be talking about. The low pass filter, like, because when the verse is going on, the bass lines are taken away. The bass kind of frequencies are taken away, except for the bass guitar. The bass guitar stays, but the drums themselves are kept quite muted, almost as if they're coming through like a cell phone speaker, which is obviously like very treble heavy. And then you take off the filter in the chorus, that it becomes like full on drums. I think that's what you're talking about. Low pass lets bass through, high pass lets high end through. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So it's the opposite of what I thought. Alrighty. Here we go. We're going to move on to our second track today. We've listened to one Hawaii Part 2 song before. I cannot remember what the name of it was. Maybe it exists here. Oh, look, there's Murders. We did, I can't remember which one we did. I can't remember which one we did, but, you know, there we go. We're going to... It was the Mind Electric. We did do the Mind Electric, okay. And that was fun. I remember it being fun. This time is something called White Ball. Which is by the same place, and I think White Ball is the song right before another song called Murders, about his relationship with his girlfriend and the kind of conversations they had. Okay, cool. And then Murders is he murders her. Whoops. That's a quote. That's not me talking. That's Ember talking. All right. Oh, there's an anglerfish. This is so cool. I just noticed about the album art. It looks like the moon, but it's actually an anglerfish's lure. That's so cool. All right. Yeah, this is going to be weird because I remember that the Mind Electric was not a, I'm going to say pleasant listen, but more that not that it was bad. It was just like there was a lot there was a lot going on. It's not as weird, actually. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Remember, I didn't use the term weird in a bad way. I'm definitely just trying to describe it. Miracle Musical is the band name. Ah, okay, cool. So it's not called Hawaii Part 2. Hawaii Part 2 is the album. Okay, so here we are. We're listening to Miracle Musical's White Ball. Here we go. All right, let's give it a shot. Staccato strings.
Drift alive in some effortless place.
Ooh!
Bound by delicate tread.
Okay.
Saving no face.
Air dissolves.
Love this.
Where one game is designed.
It sounds like a musical.
Elegant find. So the program goes.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second. I want to talk about the way that the vocals interact with the chord progression. The chords that are being played, notice that when the voice comes in, it very rarely starts on any of the notes that are contained in the chord. What I mean by that is, let's say a chord plays 3 notes, bum 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 bum. That's the chord that you sit on, and then the voice comes in on a note that is different, ba da da da, and the voice itself creates an entirely different chord by starting on a note that is outside of the original chord. So you have notes in the original chord, and then the voice does something up here, and that changes the nature of the chord. Very, very nice. Yes, also, I'm really impressed with the production quality of this, that the sound, as Alex said, the sound is so rounded. The strings really scratch the brain. And when the voice comes in, it's also very rounded. It's like it comes out in both ears in a very full way. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I can't quite tell how many players that is. Is it a quartet or a small chamber? We're gonna find out. Let's see. That sounds like a quartet.
Drift alive.
But then they have lower.
Some effortless place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say maybe a sextet, maybe 6 players. Okay, this is the second song about their relationship. Basically, they're having a convo about how they view death in the lyrics. Oh, that's cool. I'm thinking 5 violins, 2 viola, 1 cello, 1 bass, maybe. Could do. Okay. Right, I'm really enjoying it. Also, the chord progressions are very interesting. They're very out of the ordinary. So yeah, they go. What's interesting is that they go to places that still make musical sense. Even if they're not normally done in, like, they're not mainstream chords. All right, let's keep listening.
Bound by delicate tread, saving no face.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that I wanted to that's the one thing I wanted to really point out is this entrance of the second voice. Just listen to that. So the bum bum bum, the chord is going like that. The chord sits there, and she goes bum 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 bum. That is what we call a 7th chord. Why do we call it a 7th chord? Because the notes have names. Notes in a chord have names. And if we want to go da da da, those notes are called 1 3 5. 1 3 5. This note up here is called 7. 1 3 5 7. The chord does not have the 7th note in it until the voice comes in and creates a 7th chord. Lovely little detail that I really enjoy. It's a ballroom-like song as their relationship is an intricate dance as well as the convo. I am getting the vibe of a dance as well. Yes, it does sound like a ballroom. We've got, like, you know, string quartet, string octet kind of vibes. That's very ballroom-esque. And I like the fact that it's got this sort of ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. The rhythm is very tango-ish almost, even if it's not a tango in itself. I like this. I recommend looking at the lyrics at some point later. They're very cool. I imagine that I'm going to be focused on the music for this one because the music is more complex. Whereas with the last one, we focused on the lyrics because the lyrics were more of the sort of main attraction. But I will go look up the lyrics later for sure. Yeah. It is a tango-ish feeling, yeah. But it's not the tango chords, you know what I mean? So it's not chords that you would expect in a tango. And that's what makes it so interesting. Because it's almost unique. It's like they're doing their own tango. It's great. Gotta love the melody playing the 7th. Always hits different and makes the melody feel really crunchy in the best way. Yeah, it really crunches the chord for sure. And that's a great way of describing it. Let's keep going.
Where one game is designed, something's elegant fine. So the program goes.
What did I say about a tango? What did I say? What did I say about a tango coming in? Damn. And here comes the chord progression of a tango. Listen. So cool. Even if the chord progression is not identical to what a tango would normally be, now we have embraced the idea, and we can no longer hide from the fact that this is trying to imitate a tango, because not just because of the da 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 da, not because of that very clear that very clear genre rhythm that is associated with tango, but also now we have fifths playing. A tango, a bass line in the tango will go dum 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 dum. The most famous tango would be da 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 da. I can't remember what it's called again, but it's from Carmen. And the tango down in the beginning, the tango down in the low end in the bass usually plays fifths. Bum 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 bum. That is a fifth chord, right? It's called an open fifth chord because it plays note 1 and note 5 in the chord, and that's a fifth, right? Because between 1 and 5 is fifth, right? That's why we call it that. And that is what is happening here. Listen to the bass. Listen to the bass. Dum, 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 dum. Let's go back again. Dum, 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 dum. Can't go that low. But dum, 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 dum. So it's going up and down in fifths again. It's not beating the tango allegations, is what I'm saying. Both of the singers' voices are slapping in this song. Yes, I do like the smoothness as well. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna mention the check it out because I felt like it was going somewhere else. So let's see how that works.
Check it out.
Why does he say check it out? That's very jazzy. I like that. I've also just noticed the bass is playing almost entirely pizzicato. Pizzicato! Fum, 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 fum. Yes. The song seems to occasionally include snippets of dialogue as if it's including parts of a real convo. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. More snippets of a conversation, and now we have an accordion. Still not beating the tango allegations. It's almost getting sensual now. Like you're feeling that kind of that pull and release. The point of a tango, remember, is for it to be a sensual experience. Like not like it's meant to be a very intimate thing, a tango. It's a dance between two people. They are very close, very physical, and it's got a lot of bends and dips and really cool dance moves, but all of those things keep them skin to skin, you know what I mean? So that genre being leaned on so heavily for this music is very indicative of how both characters involved are very intimate with each other and very close with each other. Very cool. Also, a tango can be quite tumultuous. It can be quite stormy. It's quite smooth in many places, but because of the way it moves, tangos will naturally grow in intensity to a climax, and I think that's the intensity of the couple dancing must also match that as well. So I'm sure we're going to get to a more upbeat part. If this is gonna continue being a tango, we're going to get to a part that gets a lot louder, I'm imagining. Me talking about death with my girl and the sensual tango starts coming on. Yeah, I'm with you.
Fate decides
Nice.
how these columns align.
Oh,
Birth by chance or benign.
okay.
Every moment, robots.
Wow, complete beat switch up.
Goes and stays.
Complete beat switch up. So tangos don't usually have drums. So adding this drum really changes a lot about the vibe to this. It makes it very I want to say modernize, but it definitely changes the time that you're imagining this song in, and it really takes it's like a full gear shift. Very interesting. Very interesting. Also, a lot of the bass frequencies are gone, and they come back later now, as we're seeing here. But there's a moment where the sort of the hi-hat starts playing, and we got no bass at all. Now it's in now again. This is interesting. It's interesting because in a tango, sorry, I'm going to keep coming back to this, but in a tango, the beat is played by the instruments. Bum, 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 bum. Now the drum has taken over, and it's changed the whole rhythm of the song. Very interesting switch up. Piano in the top. There's almost one piano note. I don't know if we've heard the piano yet in this song yet, but there's one piano note. Listen carefully. It's in here. There. Ba-rum. Try again. Don't know if it's gonna come back. Lovely accordion as well. Also, oh, there we go. It comes back. Okay. Also, notice again how the when the accordion is here, it's meant to provide more clarity of genre. And when they add that element, it provides more clarity and it gives us more roundedness to the genre of tango. When the drum kit comes in, it disrupts that flow. It changes the flow entirely and takes over, which may represent, if we're talking about a conversation, it may represent the fact that someone has come in to disrupt the conversation. And maybe one of the people in the couple having the conversation have changed it slightly to mean something entirely different. Maybe they've like taken over the conversation with themselves. So that the drums conflict with the general genre like that is being leaned on here. And that switch up is very interesting. Then the juxtaposed with the accordion being here, which makes complete sense and makes us feel like it's okay, like it belongs there. But the drums don't. So I think that's very cool. It feels like they're really dancing and he pulled her. Interesting. Yeah, that's very nice. Okay. You hear a few quick moments of piano. Yeah. I'm also noticing the drum part is very busy and it's almost clashing and overpowering everything else, even the Vox to an extent. Yes. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. That's a good way of putting it. The drum comes in and takes over. And now all we can hear is the drum. And yeah, it is a very busy part. It's got a lot of fills. And what we mean by fills is it's not a bum bum. It's a. It's got a lot of like little bits in the middle of the beats, and that creates a much busier part. Basically, the progression of the song represents this guy's fall into the madness inside his mind that causes him to murder her in the next song. Damn. While the lady doesn't realize like at all. Wow, this makes complete sense. Clearly the drums are the things that take over and change the nature of their relationship while they're having this conversation. There's a certain moment right at the end of the song that proves the theory for me. I'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. More piano. 2, 3, and... Whoa! Very different drum beat. Another mix-up. So it's fully embraced the tango, and yet the drum is still fully trying to break away from it. It's still overpowering it. So cool. Okay. Aside from the fact that the vocals are killing it and that harmony was beautiful, notice how the vocals, in a tango, you get a lot of long strings. And there are moments where there's a part of the verse, often in a tango, where strings have this... Like they have that long, drawn-out moment. The voices are playing the roles of the strings here. Listen carefully. If the voice part was played by a string, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. It would belong immediately. Because that's what they're doing. The voices are imitating strings. Listen. Like, that itself sounds almost like a string, like on its own. It's very cool, very cool. Also, you notice the drums getting busier in this section, and the key is getting a little bit more ambiguous. Like we're getting a little bit more weird with our stuff. This is where it gets weird. A little bit dissonant. But mainly it's because they're trying to modulate. They're trying to change the key. More string melodies. I love how the harmonies stay the same. So they're moving up and down in their intervals. Lovely. They're not really changing it. It's really good. Did you hear that subtle, you hear that tiny little double bass? The double kick in the drum? Listen. Yeah, little syncopation there. Try again.
is renewed, is reborn.
2, 3, 4. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. So cool.
I am you, I am yours. So please dismiss.
Oh, and we've gone back. We've gone back to the original. So now that little moment, that little bridge feels like a bit of a conflict. And when we resolve the conflict and go into something else that goes back to our tango, you've taken some of the elements of that little conflict. So a lot of the elements are still breaking in and infecting that, and are changing the style of things. Very interesting.
What they claim about this being anything to explain.
Also, they're not singing in harmony anymore. Now they're singing in unison. They're singing an octave apart. Da, 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 da. There's no harmony anymore.
How expressed with a kiss, taking passionate steps for suspending a bliss. Such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss.
There's more noise in the low end. Can you hear it? It's a sense of foreboding. There's a real sense of doom in the low end. Listen carefully. Listen, you got to listen so carefully because it feels it's if you're not paying attention to it, you'll not feel it until it's too late. Feel there's this rising vibration in the lower area. Listen so carefully.
Expressed with a kiss, taking passionate steps for suspending a bliss. Such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss.
Can you hear it?
Impossible bliss, such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss.
The bass frequencies are being amplified. Oof. That was lovely. Really cool way to get it to end with that. That little solo that solo bass line was just fantastic. And it keeps that tango vibe right up until the end, even though everything else is different. But can you it's not something it is something that you can feel, absolutely, Alex, but it's not like what is happening. They're not adding new elements. What they're doing is they're creating they're giving the lower elements more length, and they're letting their lower frequencies stick around for longer. And it creates almost like a noise floor of bass frequencies that slowly rise and get... It's so subtle. It's crazy how subtle it is. But it's very, very effective at showing this descent, this distance away from genre and how things have normally been up until this point in the song. And then it ends very subtly, I might add. It's interesting. It ends without like a giant climax or anything. Super cool, super cool. It's interesting they played Laughter right at the end. Let's see. I assume it was somewhere else. Is that it? Is this Laughter? In the top? It's pretty cool. Laughter or Little Raccoon? Yes, very good. Very... I think it's a raccoon. That sounds like a little critter. They're basically bass boosting it with the arrangement, would you say? Maybe. Let me listen to it again. Yeah. Yeah, I would say if in its most simplest form, they're probably bass boosting it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so for the last part, where they repeat Impossible Bliss, the lady sings it the same each time while the guy gets more and more nervous with the strings. Interesting. Let's listen to that quickly.
Passionate stars, floors suspending abyss. Such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss, such impossible bliss.
Interesting. He is, I think, less. It's interesting that you interpret it as nervous. That's totally fair. I see it as, I can hear it as more, I think that's represented, rather. I'm agreeing with you. I think it's represented by him being overpowered by the rest of the instruments, whereas she remains clear. So her vocal tone remains quite clear up in the top, and his voice just kind of slowly gets more distorted as it gets swallowed by the other frequencies, which I think is very interesting. Really, really, really cool. Yeah, how awesome was that? That was a great song, and it ended nicely as well. The ending is great. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. Cool. It feels louder to me, honestly, but that might be for me from focusing on it. No, I definitely felt like, listen. Maybe it's because you can hear, it might be because you can hear her frequency more because the frequency is higher in the higher register. But I felt like hers stayed the same, and he just kind of, the instruments just kind of swallowed him. Not in a bad way. I felt like it was purposeful. But yeah, either way, it does its job. So that's really cool. Also, notice how he's the one who sings last. She falls away eventually. Listen. Hang on. So he actually ends up singing at the end. So she falls away first, and he goes on for like maybe a whole other beat, which is very interesting. Wow, so cool, dudes. That was awesome. That was White Ball by Miracle something. Go back up again. Don't tell me. I will read about it. Miracle Musical. Miracle Musical. Yes, very good. Very, very good. I like this. He sounds louder to me specifically when he said Impossible Bliss the last time. All the other times he sounds overpowered. Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. So that's the less weird song out of the two. How long was I out for? I wasn't counting. But welcome back. I don't know when you were gone. So, but welcome back. Yes, that was a cool song. That was White Ball by Miracle Musical from their album Hawaii Part 2. Very nice. Very, very interesting. A true Ember classic. I won't lie. Thank you, Ember, once again for an excellent recommendation. Sure. I'm going to take a bit of a second. Alex, direct me here. The idea behind this was, how would I do Star Wars? And I drew from my kind of usual suspects. Ludwig Göransson, the Kiners, Murray Gold, Sega Nakanola, and then also drew on my rockier side, Metallica, Trivium Queen, Dragged Under, smoshed all those together, and then kind of fell out. I put the video and the isolated score here for you since the sound effects on the picture are ridiculous and also copyright shit too. Yes, we will get clapped if we open up that. So I'm gonna open up the I'm gonna open up the vocal part, and then we'll hear this. So this is what Alex would describe as Star Wars. This is like your version of Star Wars, right? Like, this is what you imagine Star Wars would be if it was written by you. What I love about this is, what is very ironic, is that the inspiration that you took for Star Wars, including the Kiners and Ludwig Göransson, are Star Wars composers who took their inspiration from the original Star Wars composers as well. So basically, you've just kind of gone full circle, and maybe you've come around to writing Star Wars again. I'm gonna go eat food now since it's 7 p.m., but I may or may not return. Well, thank you for being here, Ember. I appreciate your thoughts and your insights, and I will see you the next time. Okay. That's basically how I would have gone about it. Alright. Well, we're going to have a listen to it now in a second. I just want to take some time to take a few breaths. Oh, I've just woken up, so... Oh. My brain can really only do like three analyses at a time, so this will be the last one. And then we'll come back to more later. Right, we've done hurt people, that's a good one. We've done white ball, that's also a good one. And now we've done this one. Alex's version of A New Hope. Very cool. It'd be so funny if I just wrote John Williams, but it's even further removed from Star Wars than we've gotten so far. Okay, well, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see. What I like about Dropbox's way of showing MP3s visually is showing where the elements are strongest, which I quite like. I like that a lot. It shows us we've got some quiet elements, some loud elements, some busy, some not busy elements. It's a lovely little dip there. I don't know what that's going to mean, but let's find out together. Okay, with my brain, I'm gonna think with my brain, and we're gonna try one more. Okay. Here we go. Is there specific parts of a movie for certain parts of the song, or an overall feel? That's a good point. Is this for like, is this your version of a Star Wars main theme, Alex, or is it just an amalgamation? Can you help us through it, maybe? Such impossible bliss. No, 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 no. This is for the very opening sequence of A New Hope, the attack on the Tantive 4, scored to the picture. Okay, so it's entirely original, musically done to picture. Okay, so if we have a quick look then, I want to have a look at what you put in the video. I'm gonna mute this quickly. Oh, it's from the time the credits start rolling. Oh, interesting. When they stop rolling. Then we've got the Tantive 4 running from Vader's ship. Then Vader comes on board, and then it ends with his theme. Okay, so it starts when the Star Wars music goes. The credits disappear, and you zoom down to the planet. You pan down to the planet. And then there's the ship chasing the Tantive 4. Then there's a bit of C-3PO banter. And then the ship captures the Tantive 4. And then there's a big rebel hallway fight. And then at the end of it, C-3PO and R2-D2 somehow make it out. And then Vader comes in, steps over them, and moves on. And that's it. That's where it ends. So that's what we have to look forward to. I think, if I'm going to predict from the waveform, I have a feeling that this is where it's capturing the Tantive 4. This is where it's fighting the Tantive 4. This is the moment with C-3PO. This is where it captures it. This is the prep for the fight. This is the fight itself, and that's Vader. I have a feeling. So let's with that in mind, let's see if we can do this. Shall we? Okay, here we go. So this is A New Hope by Alex Rooney, innit? Here we go. Oh, that's so satisfying. Ooh! What was that noise? This was so cool. I just like I like the way you begin your pieces. I have to say, I do really enjoy that. So we try that again. It's just such a nice like pulse going on. Love that. Bum, bum. Oh. Little borrowing from Ray's theme. Also, the percussion is very Ludwig Göransson. It wouldn't be Alex Rooney without a bass and some drums. Very cool. Huge switch up. Oh, okay. I like there's a little bit of chromaticism here as well. Listen carefully. Bum, 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 bum. So it changes the chord ever so slightly. It creates this, like I said, chromaticism, which is where we play with stepwise movements. I like this. I like this. Oh shit, I think I left the credits on there. Oh well, it's pretty obvious when it switches into the sequence. Yeah. This was the credit vibe, and then this is the fighting vibe. Yeah. So I have to say, I like this intro, and there's a very big switch up when the drums come in. It very much changes it. Like I like it. I think it provides an interesting new take on it. As far as I know, it kept the same percussive consistency. No, it hadn't yet. No, you establish it here. Okay. So this is where it's established. Bum, 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 bum. All right. So that rhythm, if we're thinking Star Wars, I haven't listened to the rest. But if we're thinking Star Wars by nature does a lot of its repeating themes. It does the leitmotif really well. So if you're going to start with this, I'm expecting to hear that rhythm come back again. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just putting it out there. This is kind of, if you establish a rhythm here, then it should repeat in certain ways. Maybe not a rhythm, then maybe a melody. Let's see. Drum's got a lot of filling in it. I like that. Oh, and you've added synths. Okay, so now we have some little bit of droid sounds, which is very interesting. Notice the entrance of them. Bop bop bop. Very nice. I like that. That rising synth vibe is giving me either Darth Vader is here or it's giving me a ship alarm. That vroom. It's like an air raid siren. Very interesting. Drums go away. Now we're back. We're back with the same rhythmic vibe at the beginning. Pay attention to the bass guitar here. I'm paying attention to the bass guitar. The bass is creating chromaticism while the chords can basically do whatever they want. So when the chords are here, bum 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 bum. The bass guitar is doing a lot of the chromatic work and moving up like half step, half step, half step. And then the chords can sort of, they're not really matching it, but they are, the bass is creating a musical floor, at least, for the chords to be more creepy. So this is, I'm getting creepy vibes from this. Ooh, a double time. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna need to focus on that. Okay. Ah, you changed the time signature. Okay, so watch carefully. Why does this sound a little bit weird? Because now we're changing the time signature a little bit. We've started with this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. Okay, cool. One thing I find about this moment, this little section here, I like the use of 7/4. I'm always going to like 7/4. The attack time on that synth, the kind of... I think it needs to be tighter if you really wanted to bring forth that 7/4 vibe. It needs to be like anticipating the beat, that dun 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 dun. And if you're listening to it more casually, it feels like it's slightly behind the beat, and it's coming in a little bit late. That's what it feels like for my ears, anyway. Do you see what I mean? It feels a little bit like it's dragging along. But it's a really cool concept. I give you, like, it's an A+ for creativity, for sure. I also noticed that that top little thing, that bum, 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 is playing the same thing as the bass. They're playing the same thing. They're like, what, 4 octaves apart? It's pretty cool. Okay. Moving out, probably back to 4/4. I love that little synth in the background. Very nice. Drums come back. Only toms, creating a more building of tension. Wow. Very interesting. Little swelling of the strings there. Listen. That was nice. I like that. Feels very natural for strings to play. Whoa! Okay, we've embraced our metal head here. As the double kicks come out, ba-da-bum, 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 ba-da-bum. Theme comes back, very nice. Back to the 7/4 a little bit. I like that the brass is now complementing what the 7/4 bars are doing. Bum, 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 and the brass comes ba-da-da, bum, bum, and they really emphasize the fact that the next new bar is beginning. I like that. That's very cool. Also, I'm noticing you are bringing back the same tune, bum, 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 bum. That seems to be the motif of your piece, which is cool. I like that it's consistent. Woo! Damn! Nice. Oh, addition of vocals, very good. Yo, those breakdowns, crazy. Vader comes out. Nice. Nice. Okay. Wow. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, okay. So, let me what kind of feedback are you looking for, Alex? What are you looking to gain from this analysis? Cuz I'm happy to shape my thoughts based on what you are looking for. So I'd like to know what you would like. And this is 3PO and R2 in the corridor. Okay. I present Star Wars. Yes. I agree with Alfred. This is solid horror hallway music for sure. So there are a couple of things that there are lots of things that I can say about this. I'd rather wait for your like expectations first so that I can match them with my feedback, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Oh god. Okay. I have a message. Oh, it's telling me that I have a subscription that's increasing in price. Yay. I think most importantly, I think how it feels thematically, how easily you can track the flow of the picture from just the score alone. Okay. So, firstly, I think that if you're going to listen to this and have a problem with it, then that problem is only going to be of taste, of whether you like the sound of the melody or not. And I'll tell you one thing. When John Williams was making Star Wars in the original era, there's a surprising amount of his music that is not meant to be listened to on its own. It's meant to be as part of the movie because it was composed to be part of the movie. So take that with a grain of salt, because if you listen to a lot of the OT pieces of John Williams just on Spotify on your own, it's exhausting sometimes because of how not only brass heavy it is, but how the chromaticism works and how he kind of again, I say chromaticism for those of you who are not familiar, chromaticism is like when it goes up down in half steps and the chords don't really make sense. It's very atonal. John Williams made a lot of heavy brass, heavy atonal music, and that's not to everyone's taste. So I use this as an example because it's meant to be movie music. You're meant to listen. You're not meant to listen to it. You're meant to listen to it in the context of the movie. So that's something to keep in mind. I think if anyone's going to have criticism for this piece, it's going to be opinion-based. It's going to be subjective. The objective stuff, as in whether something has a recurring theme or whether something has, rhythms that come back, whether you have a leitmotif in here, that much is very clear. So musically, I don't think that you've done anything wrong. And I think you have a lot of consistency that brings what Star Wars music tends to bring, which is a repetition of theme, a repetition of leitmotif, a repetition of rhythm, etc., etc. And I like that anchor runs through the piece. The one, how it works with the picture would be nice, but I understand if you don't want to risk it. I can't watch that, unfortunately. We will be clapped for sure. In the OT, he really was not writing with the intent for it to be listened to on its own. It's only really in the prequel trilogy and sequel trilogy it feels like it was made with that in mind. Yes, it was very heavy brass, and heavy brass is not easy to listen to for hours on end. It's actually very hard to listen to for hours on end. So what I thought about this is that it does seem to match that vibe. It's when you listen to this, you have to. I found myself wanting to extract this piece from what I understood as Star Wars, because this doesn't feel like other Star Wars music that we've heard before. There's one moment where it does. Can I tell you something? Early Clone Wars, where some of the early Clone Wars music, where some of the battle scenes were made with like these sorts of drums and synths in mind. This is kind of what it reminds me of. like Clone Wars season 1, season 2, Anakin and Ahsoka doing intrigue stuff and fighting on the Coruscant lower levels. Like that's the kind of vibe it gives me. And also there was the Mandalorian prison episode in season 1. That's the vibe this gives me as well. I think if we're gonna look at Star Wars, the only real Star Wars that this would remind me of would be Goranson, because he went in for those drums sometimes. We don't often see full kit being played in Star Wars. That isn't a bad thing. I'm just giving analysis on the thing. So this is definitely very new for something that we would hear in Star Wars, and it's not something that that is in a lot of projects. So it's an interesting. I really find it interesting what you were thinking about when you did this with that particular scene as well. I found that I did notice that there were lots of different genres. When you talked about how you were leaning on different inspirations, it feels like there are very strict sections where, oh, we're in the rock section now, oh, we're in the metal section now. So if that's what you intended, great. That's what I was hearing. So I thought that, I definitely felt there was a break. So I started, okay, so in the beginning here are the synths, here's the 7/4 section, here's the rock section, here's the metal section, here's the 7/4 section again, here's the metal section again. So each little bit of section had its own genre and thematic element. So that's what I've heard as well. There were moments that I liked. I think the one is about here. I liked this. This and the beginning. The beginning was my favorite. I think before the drums come in, this little section here is probably my favorite out of the whole thing. And I'll also say that the general vibe of this whole thing is very horror-esque. It feels very much like a classic 70s, 80s style horror movie where someone's being, chased by something, and there are moments of pause in the middle of it and things. When the drum comes in, they're being chased again, or the camera's focusing on the monster or the villain or whatever it is. So I thought that you really got that vibe of Darth Vader being a villain really nicely, like a horror villain, because in many ways he was just this iconic thing standing on stage. Like he was incredibly imposing and incredibly intimidating, and I really like that you captured that in a completely different way that we haven't heard before. Very cool. So yeah, I like the concept here, and I think for creativity of concept you get the most points easily. I really like how different this feels. Okay, Kevin was doing some wild shit in the first 3 seasons of Clone Wars. Yeah, he definitely was playing around with like how unique he could make it. The flute on the top was also a direct reference to Ahsoka. Oh, cool. Okay, so I saw Ahsoka once, and then I haven't gone back to it, and I haven't really listened to a lot of the music, so I would be less familiar with that. The very distinct kind of blocks of genre wasn't quite intentional. I think with the way I ended up writing it was the most organic way of ramping up the tension. That's true. It does end up that way. That's true. But I think I was biased because you said that you were leaning on rock, then metal, then synths, then this, and I was like, oh, cool. And then when that came up, I was like, oh, this is that section. Oh, this is that section. So your description of the piece may have colored my interpretation of the work as I was listening to it. That can happen. I think, but I also agree with you that those sections do work as they were. Like you have a ramping up of the bass drums here. So you start with this. You got toms there, and then it goes there. Like low-key metal, right? Those double kick drums. Little thing. And then just massive double kicks and massive double basses. I'm not gonna lie. I actually think this is also a standout moment for me. I think you really understood what to do with chromaticism, and you really knew how to take those stepwise movements up. Jesus. Oh god. You really knew how to take those stepwise movements up, those half-step movements. I really, really enjoyed that. That was fun. Remember, everyone, if you are making music that has chromaticism and half-step movements up and down, it is an art. It is an incredibly difficult skill. It's not something you just do. You have to make sure that it still makes some kind of sense in the main part of the play, in the main part of whatever you're doing. Chromaticism is, it can be hit or miss. There's very little in between for chromatic movements. And I actually noticed both here. In this piece, I noticed places where the chromaticism was done like super well, where you definitely nailed it. And there were other places where I felt it missed the mark. But that's part and parcel of writing chromaticism. It's very difficult to write. And again, it's also just opinion on the listener. It's not an objective thing. So remember, a lot of my interpretation is subjective. The string parts in that galloping section is wild. Basically, everything is moving up the most random chromatic ways. Some bits are diatonic, some are chromatic, some are just pedaling. It's wild. It is a big risk to make things this wild and still like want it to tie together in a kind of in a coherent way. But I think specifically in this section, I felt that it was coherent. If we listen again. I like that you've got a string that that holds that same note the whole time because it provides an anchor. Also the bass guitar. Bass guitar providing an anchor as well. And then it comes back into the main theme. I like that. This was cool. That's a real that's a really good climax for this. I like it a lot. That big wild chromatic section was the build-up to the stormtroopers breaching the ship too, with the stop being the door exploding. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, nice. Very cool. And then the main theme, like the motif comes back again when the combat starts. That's awesome. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All in all, I think it definitely sounds like you. I don't feel... Of all the stuff that I've listened to of yours, this definitely like borrows a lot from each one of the genres that you like playing with. I like its consistency of leitmotif. It does move from genre to genre, and I like the creative risks you took with chromaticism. I really enjoyed some of those chromatic moments. The quieter moments were definitely my favorites. I think the 7/4 bars were quite nice as well. The way that the theme fits into a 7/4 bar is pretty slick. I like that. I like that little touch. Yeah, I think you've got some good stuff in here. I think there is some good stuff in here. Yeah, so that's interesting. The bar like buffers as I move it. That's very interesting. So yeah, that was Alex's Star Wars. Very, very, very good. And I think that's about all my brain has energy for today, to be honest. Yeah, how long ago did you do this, by the way? I think were I to do this now, I would have done that section with something more sinister rather than the regular kind of hero theme kind of thing. Okay, I hear you, I hear you. Funnily enough, I actually wrote the theme in 7 and then extended it into 4. Oh, cool. Cool. Okay. Nice. No. I forgot what I was going to say. It's all good. I think that was a really cool job. You did great. I can tell there's a lot of work that went into that as well. So good job for that. Great job for working hard. There's a car alarm going off. It was months ago, I know that much. I can't quite remember exactly when. The year I know that much. I want to say March. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, everybody. I think it might be time for me to say goodbye. Oh, God. Yeah. Gonna just... stay here. Oh god, the mic. Yeah. Okay, we're here. Alright, this is now becoming a sleeping stream while I take a nap and then we'll do more music analysis. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go. I have stuff to do. I have stuff to do. I have so much to write for my Star Wars campaign. I have to bring in 2 new characters because 2 of my characters are leaving. Not the players. The players are staying. The players are going to make new characters. Oh, we're changing things up. We're going into a new thing. 300 viewers immediately. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should do it on TikTok. I should do it on TikTok for the gifts. Alright, everyone. Shall we say goodbye? Let's say goodbye. Thank you all so much for this. This was great. If you have something that you would like to hear, or that you've either played or something that you like on stream, if you'd like to hear that, then please tell me that. Please send through requests in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord already, you should. Please make sure you have a lovely day. But if you don't, that's okay too. Just remember that you're still here. The bad stuff hasn't won, because you're still around. Don't forget that. Thanks for still being here. It is 11:52. It's nearly noon. I'm going to take a break, maybe vegetate a little bit before getting on with the stuff I have to do. So thank you all so much for joining me today. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves. Be kinder to yourselves than you're currently being. In 10 hours from now, we will be in the finale of Mass Effect 3 and the finale of the entire Mass Effect trilogy. You are not going to want to miss it. I guarantee it. So we'll see you in 10 hours to finish off the series. And I can't wait. I'm so excited for it. So thank you all so much for tuning into the Everything GM broadcast. And I will see you in the next stream when we do it all over again. Goodbye!